Hey friends, welcome and welcome back to my channel. My name is Erin and I am so excited that you decided to take time out of your day to spend with me because today we are continuing some series that I am in the middle of. I feel like this is a never ending task that I can try to put more effort in, but it just stacks back up because literally every book that comes out now is a part of a series. And why can't we just get more standalones? But anyway, here we are. And because this is February and this is Black History Month, of course, we are doing this Black edition. So I will be reading through some series about some Black authors and trying to make some progress, hopefully finishing off some or at least getting to the caught up stage. And yeah, I'm just going to go until I need to put this video out. There won't be any set number of books I'm reading. I'm just going to make it do what it do. Okay, so without any further yapping, let us get into this video and see what I pick up. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and tell you to be prepared to see me in this exact spot for a little bit. Okay, because you know what I did. I binged some books. Okay, so first I want to talk about "Don't Go Breaking My Heart" by N.G. Peltier. We're following Reba, and Reba is this very colorful, eccentric, eclectic type of person. She loves showing her personality off of the clothes that she wears. She has pink hair, like she's just full of life, and she is the assistant to Charisse from Sweet Hand in the first book. We are also following Devin. It might be Devon, but for whatever reason, while I was reading this, I could not make myself say Devon. My brain kept saying Devin, so that's what we're going to call him. And Devin is Kieran's brother from Sweet Hand as well. Kieran was the love interest in the first book. So we're following them, and Devin is this really rules structured, organized, kind of bland type of guy, if you will. He likes to have his things a certain way. He's very much into work and he's not into taking risk. He's just very extremist in this way. And through a series of events, Devin needs Reba to help him learn how to bake for this baking competition that's happening at work, because Devin is notorious for not participating in any activities outside of work. And his boss is like, hey, if you're looking for this promotion, basically you need to start being more involved or we're not going to see you as a team player and you're not going to get promoted, which I personally think is crap, but whatever. So Devin enlists Reba to help him learn how to bake, and Reba is very determined to inject fun into Devin's life, as she puts it. And she is a chaos agent and just really pushes Devin's buttons and gets him to step out of his comfort zone, but also, helping him through his, social anxiety and showing him how to, become more of a people person and not be so rigid. And of course, through this, there's an attraction both ways and things happen and blah, 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 the rest. So I rated this a 3.5 star. And my disconnect, I think, is that this felt kind of shallow. And I don't mean that in a rude or mean way, because, books serve different purposes, and not all books are meant to be these overly emotional, make you sob, tears, and, all that type of thing. I actually don't really care for those type of books. I'm like a fun, cute, spicy type of time type of romance reader. So this is actually my type of romance, but it felt like each of their personal internal conflicts were just a little bit overbaked, like you were trying too hard to make them a thing, and it just felt a little, I don't know, how to describe this because let me just try to talk about it and talk through it without spoiling you. So Reba's thing was that people like thought that she was a good time and loved her in bed and loved her fun, outgoing personality, her clothes, her hair, all the things. But when it came time to actually settle down and like, find a wife, Reba always felt like the men she dated wanted to calm her down or change her in some type of way to make her suitable to be a wife. And that was her hang up when it came to relationships. And Devin's kind of hang up was that he was very risk averse. He didn't want to, you know, take any real risk. He had a spreadsheet that he would fill out to figure out if something was high risk and if he needed to do it or not. And he even applied that to people, which blew up his last relationship. And he is focused on what he thinks is the perfect type of partner for him and what he's looking for. And he hasn't even dated or anything like that for 2 years because he is, looking for that person, but also really focused on work. He works way too much and trying to get this promotion. And so these things are kind of like repeated a million times throughout the story. And like, yes, these are issues and yes, these are things that people, work through, but like, is it that serious? You know? So that just felt a little dramatic at times. And Reba did feel a little childish with some of the things that she would do to Devin. And I get that, she was trying to get him out of his comfort zone and, just try to bring more life to him. But some of the things were just a little. Anyway, those were the kind of disconnects for me with this and why it was a 3.5 star. Yeah, I thought the writing was fine. I really enjoyed the spice in this. It just, and honestly, I feel like I've said all of this and didn't really say anything or explain to you why I felt the way I felt. But yeah, 3.5 stars. It was pretty good. It was pretty good. Let's talk about Take a Hike by Mimi Grace. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you off the bat, I was very skeptical going into this one, and I have been putting it off. And I have been going back and forth about whether I was actually even going to read this one because it just didn't seem like my type of thing. And I decided I needed to be a completionist. These are short romances, less than 300 pages. So I was like, look, just go ahead and do it. You might be surprised. And so in Take a Hike, we're following Raven, who is Gwen's best friend. Gwen is the main character of What a Match, the second book. And Raven is just kind of like a flighty person, and she gets fired from her job at the beginning, and she is just kind of looking for what's next for her. I think she works at a school, so she's kind of out for the summer anyway. So she's looking for something to do, and by a series of strange events, she is now the owner of a outdoor recreational type store, and she knows nothing about it or even why it's hers or anything like that. But she decides to go and give running the shop a try before she decides if she wants to keep it or she wants to sell it. And then in walks Silas, who has been basically running the store for years and has been trying to buy the store and is now like really annoyed with Raven because she's kind of standing in the way of his dreams of owning the store, and he doesn't even know why the store is hers anyway. He's just very offended and very irritated by the situation in general and takes that out on Raven. So Raven, starts working at the store, and they kind of essentially haze her for giving her like busy work and making her do stuff that nobody wants to do, and just treating her really awful for a situation that has nothing to do, like she didn't choose this, and she also didn't come in hot trying to take over anything. She wanted to shadow everybody and like see what the situation was and learn, and they just treated her like crap at first, and that really pissed me off. Eventually we see that Silas and Raven has, at first it's a physical attraction, but the more they get to know about each other, the more they kind of fall into a situation. And you know, Raven decides that she's going to give it the entire summer and then decide in September if she's going to sell or keep the business. It's a small town romance, but we don't really, get that small town feel, in my opinion. I think the struggle for me, which I knew it was and I decided to read it anyway, was that this was an outdoorsy type book and I did not care anything about that plot line. I didn't care anything about the story plot line. I didn't care about, the outdoor recreation part of it. It just wasn't, it's not my thing. And so I found myself not really invested in that part. Now, what I was invested in is Silas and Raven's relationship. And this almost felt like a slow burn. Like we got a couple of kisses, but like I was almost 70% in before they even like fully admitted to each other that they liked each other. And that's saying a lot because this is like 200 and some pages and I'm 70% in before they actually even, admit to each other that they have feelings. I don't know. I think there's an audience for this, and I just think that I wasn't it. I enjoyed Raven and Silas's, like I said, their relationship was good. Watching that progression, I just personally didn't care for the main plot. So I ended up rating this 3 star because, like I said, it wasn't the book, it was me. And 3 stars are books that I still would recommend to someone. It just might not have worked for me on some level, but I do see that there are good things that people could latch on to and really enjoy. So 3 stars for Take a Hike. I am happy and sad that I am, done with this series. I think she has one other book, but it's a road trip, and I am trying to find a balance of reading things to kind of get me out of my comfort zone, but also recognizing when something isn't for me and being okay with that. And so I don't know if I will pick that one up or not, but I'm kind of sad to be leaving this world by Mimi Grace. I really, really enjoyed Make a Scene and What a Match, especially. So, yeah, hopefully she'll come out with something new soon. And let us see what we pick up next. I think I want to go with maybe a fantasy or a fantasy romance because I'm getting a little burnt out on romances at the moment. But they're just so easy for me to read and so quick for me to fly through. So I just always kind of gravitate towards them first. But I think I'm going to dig into some fantasy. So let's me go look at my TBR and just my series in general and see what I can come up with. And yeah, that's all. Hey y'all, so I'm coming to you with some not so great news, and it is that I have decided to DNF Wicked Ties. I got about 145 pages in, roughly 29-30% in, and here's the thing. When I read the first book, which is Vicious Bonds, it was something that was different for me. This is like a darker romantic fantasy, and there are themes and things going on that I just usually don't pick up and I don't jive with. and it's essentially a dark romance just set in a fantasy world. And I don't really read that, but I was trying to give it a chance because it was a black author and it sounded interesting, and I just wanted to give it a shot and see what I thought of it. So I rated that one a 3.5 star. But the more we got into the second book, the more that I realized that yeah, this is not my thing. It was really leaning into the darker side, and just things like stalking and just a lot of gun violence and things that usually show up in those types of romances, but I just personally don't really gel with that. And here's the thing, I'm scary, okay, but what's more scary to me is when things happen, bad situations happen that could very well and very easily happen in real life, like stalking. Stalking is terrifying because it, it is such an invasion of privacy, and yeah, I'm just completely terrified of being stalked. And so it just was kind of not sitting right with me, and so I think I had to stop. I was feeling uncomfortable, and I didn't want to keep reading and not give it a good rating just because it's not exactly my taste. So that is where I stand with that. It was very hard for me. I didn't want to DNF it at all, but I kind of quit while I was ahead. And so, yeah, this is going to be a DNF for me. I still think that I am going to recommend Vicious Bonds and the Tether trilogy as a whole, simply because like I did have a good time with the first one. And just because it's not exactly my taste doesn't mean that I don't think other people will enjoy it. I didn't have a problem with the writing or anything like that. I actually thought these were very good. It just wasn't for me. So, yes, I made that decision. And then I was kind of stuck because I was trying to figure out if I wanted to read another book for this vlog because it just feels kind of short. Like two and a quarter books just didn't, it wasn't sitting right with me. And there are a lot of books that I have on my hopefuls list that would fit in this, but I'm also kind of burnt out on romances at the moment. So I was trying to only read from fantasy series by black authors that I'm working my way through. And I only had one that sounded like something I wanted to read right now. But of course, it's over 500 pages. And at the time, I wanted to get this out in like 2 days, but I just don't know if I have the brain power to get through a 500-page book because I'm also already starting to read for another vlog that's coming up soon. So, all the logistical things. So, here's what I decided. I decided that I'm going to start this book, another book for this vlog, and that is The First Family by Granger, the second book in the Drew Collins series. I'm going to start it. And whether or not I actually finish it in this vlog, we'll have to see. Because, like I said, I've already started working on another one that needs to come out soon. So I don't want to derail that one and just cause, like, a chain of events. I don't need that stress. So if I'm able to finish it in this vlog, I will. I've already swapped around another sit down video to take the place of when this one was supposed to be up. So hopefully I can get it done. That added about 2 or 3 more days of reading time for me. So we'll see, but I might have to cut it off. And if that's the case, then that's what it is. And I'll, of course, update you on my final thoughts in a later vlog. But yeah, so let's get into The First Family and see what we come up with. I should have known better than to question how long it was going to take me to read The First Family, because just like when I read The Secret World of Maggie Gray, I was sucked in. I was sucked in. I needed to know. I couldn't stop reading. And that's where I am with this. Let me look it up because I don't know. I'm at 86% and I'm on page 443 of 517. So it's saying it'll take me about an hour to finish this. When I started reading it yesterday, I couldn't stop. I was shook, shaken, flabbergasted. Like I was just having the most visceral reactions to everything that was going on. Granger, you did it again. But I feel like this one brought even more drama, even more reveals, even more chaos. Like I don't have any words. And I can't tell you what this is about because, of course, it's the second book in the series. But we pick up right in the aftermath of the big plot twist at the end of The Secret World of Maggie Gray. And I'm hooked. I'm loving it. Right now, it's feeling like a 5 star. And Granger, you did it again. I'm gonna keep saying that. Like, oh my god. Oh my god. And the way I am rooting for Maggie and Amir, oh, they have my heart. Oh my god, they have my heart. Like I love Maggie and Amir. Down bad for Maggie and Amir. Because of the reactions that I've been having so far, I am going to record myself reading the last bit and we'll see what happens. And then I'll come back in, probably saying the exact same thing, but to let you know my final thoughts of what my final rating is going to be. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I just living my best life reading this. So yeah. It does on period, Namir. Yes, Namir. Yes. Wait. This is very meta. Hold on. This is very meta. What is happening? This is very meta. Granger, what are you doing to me? My brain cannot handle this. I haven't even had coffee. Oh, shoot. That was unexpected. I would have never thought it. Oh, God. Granger, what are you doing to me? Damn it, Granger. I have no words. My flabber has been gassed. I am shook, shaken, confused. Oh my god. Hey y'all. So basically what happened is that I finished the first family yesterday and completely forgot that I needed to come back on camera and tell my final thoughts, even though you can probably guess by what you just watched, and also to wrap up this vlog. So the first family, what can I say that I didn't already say? Granger did it again. I I feel like this one was even better because I knew the characters. I was already like invested wholeheartedly in everything that was going on. Andrew Collins, and like even in the dedication, like she told us that she was gonna wild out with this plot, and that she did. But also, as promised, she circled back around, and everything made sense, kinda. But now it's just like all the bombs that were dropped. Like there are a million different plot lines that I need to know what happened with, like right now. Like I need this third book like today. Today. And that's why I kind of put off reading it a little bit, even though I just read The Secret World of Maggie Gray in December. So I mean, did I really put it off? I knew that I was going to immediately want to go into the third book, and now I have to wait. But that's okay. I think it's okay. Obviously, this was 5 stars, easy 5 stars. And yeah, I need the third book in my hands today, right now. Simple as that. And I guess I can go ahead and wrap this up because if not, I'm just going to yap on and on. And I have held you long enough as it is. So, we started off this reading vlog with Don't Go Baking My Heart by N.G. Peltier, and that was a 3.5 star. We read Take a Hike by Mimi Grace, that was a 3 star. We ended up DNFing Wicked Ties by Shanora Williams, but with the caveat that this is just some darker themes that I don't usually connect with or enjoy in my books, but I still would recommend this series and these books for anyone looking for a darker romantic fantasy type situation. And we finished off on The First Family by Granger being a 5 star. So, super excited to have made some progress in some series, wrapped up too, and making moves, making progress. That's all I can ask for. Will this work probably be undone by other books that I read and other series that I start? Probably. But that's okay. We're trying, we're making an effort, and that's all I can ask for at this point. So, look at me being a nosy neighbor. But anyway, thank you so much for staying to the end of this video. Thank you for liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing, watching, anything that you do to support me and my channel. I am forever grateful to you for that. Forgetting how I end videos again. I hope you have the best day that you possibly can, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye.